Hello again, thank you for joining me for another video. So today is number 1 in a new series called Captain's Log, where I'm going to try to get on here as often as possible and start processing and talking about some of the memories that I have that I've had a difficult time placing in context of my life and integrating, because I've just felt I've had such a negative reaction from important people in my life that I've really just shut down. And at this point, I am so isolated. I've been isolated for so long. I am so desperately lonely that it feels really critical, like life-threatening levels of isolation and loneliness. I'm probably being a little dramatic, but there's parts of myself that don't feel acceptable to be, and I need to figure out how to be okay with my story, that like the memories and the interpretations and the questions, and I wonder what that was. I wonder why that happened. So many people have such a like a very sure explanation for the supernatural and any sort of interactions we have that are non-ordinary. So, and those range from it is a mental illness that should be treated with medication. It's a fabrication that you have made up. It's seeking attention. It is attempting to, it's like being tricked, and, you're just a fool kind of thing. To those who are like, oh no, of course you're talking to a dragon, to complete acceptance of mystical realms that we've heard about in stories, like fae, like dragons, like angels. And then you have the whole ET aspect of things, the Pleiadians. Of course you talk to Pleiadians. Are you telling me that there's people who don't? Well, those are foolish people that don't believe in them. So it's such a wide range of reactions to the exact same topic that I don't know how to fully make sense. It's like I have to pick a team or something, and I am not picking a team, because all of them have the potential to be true, and none of them at this point are provable. So my mind doesn't work that way. I can't accept conclusions that are I can have working hypotheses. I can have a general sense that it's likely this, but I can't close the door on other possibilities. So beyond the potential for aliens of, galactic beings of some kind, there's also the potential for technology and some sort of weird, programs sent out on the airways that these beautiful little receiving sensory systems pick up. It's hard to fully say what it is because we are dealing with things that are not measurable by physical standards. And frankly, I don't want someone else's interpretation of it. But because anytime you try to talk about your experience, somebody is going to tell you what they think it is, it becomes really difficult to get over the sense of loneliness that not being in agreement with their conclusion causes. So I have huge loneliness because it's such a robust, profound inexplicable, numerous events that aren't all the same thing, realistically. So I think I have experiences of very intense interactions with spiritual beings, clearly spiritual beings, and I think I do also have interactions and experiences with a form of non-human intelligence that could be, genetically altered future things. And, back in the day, I would have more interactions with what felt like other kinds of more expanded life forms, like from other galaxies, other timelines, other realities, other kinds of beings entirely. The main core has always been this, like, spiritually based levels of, like, training, for lack of a better, I say that a lot, for lack of a better way of saying it. Whatever. But I've had people basically tell me that it's all in my head, it's all made up. And anytime I've been exposed to the mocking that happens, it's like a death by 1,000 cuts, right? So it's like having a door slammed in your face kind of thing, having a refusal of, it's a way to dehumanize someone, and I am just so, like, over it. I'm over it. Okay, we're not the same fucking species. That's fine. I know we both look human, but we're not. But we still need to get along together on this planet. That's how it makes me feel at this point. Like, the only way you get out, that you get away with some of the stuff that people get away with, is if they actually are animals. Because otherwise, they have to be held accountable to a different standard. I don't know how to say that better, but so I just had to leave those people alone. But it is hard when I'm living on a planet full of them, and I don't feel a sense of community or recognition. It's like really hard to get any form of, like, heart coherence with people. It's like they don't recognize my heart, and I don't know how to form that heart coherence with them. And it's really lonely. I'm very lonely. I'm very isolated. Even when I attempt to interact with people, it's like I have to put away a part of myself and play human. And it is so fucking uncomfortable that I stopped trying, really. So I went off social media back in 2018 because I was so sick of being harassed by, the authorities that run the platforms, who don't want people like me around, because they had a way that they wanted shit said, and it did not include the likes of me, let me tell you. And the average person is only going to understand my story via the context that they have been given by media for the last 50 years. So that is very unappealing to me. So, there's a general narrative about why people are poor, simply doesn't apply to me. There's a general narrative about, why people think that they are interacting with non-human intelligence, and either people really just want there to be God and humans and nothing else, and anything outside of those bounds they can't tolerate. So yes, there might be a non-human intelligence, but it's only God and it can be nothing else. And trying to make sense of these experiences, coupled with having been traumatized, is really challenging. It's challenging. I have pulled away from people. Every time I've attempted to connect with people, I'm just kind of like, well, there's nobody. It's an isolation that is like hard to break through. It's hard to break through because it is such a multi-level thing. There's I wish that I could be like, some of the people who are just like, I know exactly what this is, I don't got it in me to do that. I feel like I just repeated myself like 5 times, and I apologize for that. So my point is that I'm going to start a new series called Captain's Log, and I'm going to try really hard to come on here, and as I am processing memories, I am going to, lay it out here, and so then through the course of this, hopefully anyone who's had similar experiences can, maybe the resonance will be there. So, I have some main events that have occurred in my life. Weird timing around these events. I would say that these are interventions by non-human intelligence. They are experiences where time shifted, either by a parallel reality or just because their presence was here, it shifted everything. Or I've already done this before and this is they fixed stuff. I don't fucking know. All I know is that I had very life-threatening situations that I was rescued from over and over and over again by this enormous presence. And what comes with that enormous presence is a sense of reality that I don't know how to explain. So I can't go delve into the spiritual awakening world and their adherence to dogma while minimizing real life experiences, both past and current. I need some like realistic framework for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, cool, I want everything better for everyone. I can't even imagine that while I'm sitting here unable to operate in any capacity from a true place where I'm fucking psychic as shit. I can read people and it's uncomfortable. Frankly, it's uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Bottom line, it's uncomfortable to not do it, but I'm around people who don't think it's real, so I attempt to, rather than them being also the same way, so that we're communicating on all of these different layers and levels, I have to shut down part of my communication, and it's like talking to like half a fucking person. They don't know they're half a person. They have access to all the goddamn, material possessions they want. Why would they assume that they're half a person? But to me, because I can't communicate all of the rest of the information that is available in the psychic space between us, it's uncomfortable. And I really have no idea how to get past that into a truly, coherent fashion. So I'm gonna just come on here and just kind of like, as my guides give me memories, which I've asked for, because I got more memories that have not been integrated to myself. As they bring them to me, I will bring them to you and attempt to process them. So all couched within this, the main events that I have, when I was 6 and the dude tried to get me, when I was 17, 1992, fell off the cliff in front of the paramedics, and then 2003, had the 8th day event, which was the restart of the Bible. I don't know how to say it another way. Beings came down, taught us a bunch of shit from the Bible. I channeled, restarted the Bible. I'm sorry, I know that sounds weird, but that's what it was. Walked out of hell, and then got put in the hospital and had to go through a whole deprogramming where I was basically told that that was not real, even though some of the events that time, were too weird. They were too weird. They were like car that was run out of gas starting and driving and shit like that. A bunch of stuff like that. And then 2013 and 14, I got rescued. The life that I had been living was destroyed, and I was detoxed from all of the medication they had me on for the last 10 years. And then, since then it's been recovering memories and healing from the trauma and integrating a sense of self that does not have to wonder anymore, did I make up everything? Did I make up everything? Because now that, and for the last 10 years, have had the internet, so I have been able to find all of the weird things that I knew and didn't know how I knew it, were significant spiritual symbolism lessons, beings, all of those sorts of things. So with that said, I'm going to close and hope to God that this one made any kind of sense at all. And I'm going to try really hard, like I said, to relay the memories as they come so that they can be processed immediately. And we'll see if that works.